What's the worst thing you overheard while pretending to be asleep? Story 1. I overheard my parents talking about kicking me and my siblings out onto the street. I was pretending to be asleep while playing on my Nintendo DS, when I was supposed to be in bed, and heard them planning their divorce. Major plot spoiler for my life. Story 2. My freshman college roommate watching porn on his laptop with headphones, going at it with his mattress like there was no tomorrow. Story 3. My dad telling my mom he sometimes wanted to end me. I was 5 and he was an angry alcoholic. I believed him and grew up thinking he'd kill me. Story 4. My brother talking in his sleep. Some nights it's funny, others it's creepy as hell. Story 5. I decided to sleep in my little brother's bed, he's Pepito. I was 16, he was 7. We stayed up late talking and our mom came in on the phone with our dad. We were under the sheets, about to burst out laughing to scare her when she said, "Love, I gotta hang up. I'm putting the coin under Pepito's pillow." His face changed. I consoled him all night as he asked why they lied about the tooth fairy. He later told Mom and now she gives him the coin directly. Story 6. At about 8, I was supposed to be asleep but snuck downstairs for milk or something. I heard talking below so I froze and listened. My mom was telling my brother what a problem I was and how she hated me. She always liked him more. I crept back upstairs and cried myself to sleep. Story 7. I heard my mom's voice while pretending to be asleep, but she was at a wedding. It was 2 a.m. and she didn't return until 5 a.m. Story 8. My parents saying my cat was lying dead in the backyard, likely poisoned. The next day they didn't tell me and weeks later said he got lost. I cried all night in my room. Story 9. Sleeping in a bunk bed with my older brother, he fell off the top bunk, 1B. While I pretended to be asleep below, he just said, "God damn it," then went quiet, trying not to wake me, muttering more curses under his breath. Story 10. I overheard my parents say I was a huge mistake. Still hurts. Story 11. I always pretended to be asleep when my parents were home so they wouldn't bother me. A couple of weeks ago, my mom saw me sleeping and started ranting that I'm good for nothing, my career is useless, I'll never find a job or future, and my drawings suck. I'm studying design and want to be a traditional illustrator. I stayed still for 10 more minutes, then woke up lazily. She was still there and instantly switched to a sweet attitude. She doesn't know I heard her and it really hurt. Story 12. At my sleepover birthday party, I woke up around 6 a.m. but kept my eyes closed, pretending to sleep. I heard 2 friends mocking and laughing at me. I don't know how I didn't snap, probably because I was shy and sleepy. I'm tougher now. Story 13. Pretending to be asleep, I heard my mom say, "I love you so much, I know you can achieve anything." I wanted to hug her but couldn't break the act. Story 14. Hiding my phone while pretending to sleep, I overheard my dad say, "I don't want to see him after 18. He does nothing with his life." I was 12. My mom added, "He was the worst mistake of my life." I broke down crying. They realized I heard. 3 weeks later, my dad left and never came back. A month after, my mom took her life in front of me and my sister, saying, "Almost free." I live with my grandparents now, I'm 16, and my amazing girlfriend helps me forget my nightmares. She's the best thing that's happened to me. Story 15. As a kid, I was scared of monsters sneaking up while I slept, so I'd ask my dad to check on me before bed. It made me feel safe. One night, I was awake when he came upstairs but pretended to be asleep to avoid trouble. He entered, stared at me for a few seconds, lifted my blanket, farted under it, and left. It's been 15 years and I remember it vividly. He denies it to this day, but I know what happened. Story 16. My dad and stepmom having a foursome with friends in the living room of our summer house. Breakfast the next morning was so awkward. Story 17. The last time my dad carried me to bed. I was about 10. Looking back, you never know when the last time for things like that happens as you grow up. Story 18. I heard my ex-girlfriend recording a voice message saying she wanted to break up. It crushed me. We had incredible trust and loved each other deeply. I couldn't hold back, got out of bed and asked if it was true. She said it was a joke, knowing I was awake. We laughed and I went back to sleep, but we broke up anyway. Story 19. My dad's demented screams. Usually nothing happens, but he wakes up at 4 or 5 a.m., yelling goodbye and grinding his teeth. You never get used to it. Story 20. When I was 11, I heard my dad come back from the hospital visiting my grandpa. My mom asked how he was and my dad said, "He's gone." I couldn't sleep that night, so shocked. Days earlier, my grandma asked us to write a letter for him to see. I was too lazy but started one the day before, thinking, I'll finish tomorrow. I regret that so much. Story 21. Waking up from anesthesia, barely able to breathe, I heard, "I think we're losing her again." Story 22. Someone knocking on my bedroom door, opening it and slamming it shut, but my family was away on a trip until the next day. I checked the cameras. Nothing. Since then I can't stand door knocks. Story 23. During a house party, pretending to sleep, I heard my mom say she preferred my younger brother over me. It's understandable since he's much younger, but the way she said it felt like she hated me. Story 24. My sister got drunk, passed out, and I heard a crash. Her friends, my mom and dad, were yelling, telling each other to be quiet so they wouldn't wake me, crying, thinking she was dead. I couldn't tell her I was glad she was alive. Now I cherish seeing her every week. Story 25. At my mom's 50th birthday at my aunt's house, I dozed off after an intense basketball game with my cousins. I woke up and heard my sister say no one loves me, with others agreeing. Only my brother-in-law and aunt stayed silent. It didn't hit me hard. I was the black sheep everyone avoided, but it confirmed my thoughts. Story 26. Waking up to my friend and her husband arguing next door because he was caught stroking my hair while I slept on their couch. Not the worst, but it reminded me of sharing a hotel room with my grandpa, who got up to pee and prayed aloud for his late wife. That hit hard. Story 27. My brothers, both over 30 and still living off our parents, bad-mouthing me daily. I'm 17 and they want me out because they know I'll likely inherit the house and think I'll kick them out once it's mine. Story 28. My parents discussing their divorce in the middle of the night. What hurt most was my mom's heartbroken voice. I pretended nothing happened the next day, but they divorced. Story 29. My mom and aunt, thinking I was asleep in the back seat on a road trip, discussing how my great-grandfather likely molested my great-aunt, one reason she never married, and was eccentric. I've never told anyone. Story 30. My mom on the phone with her sister saying, "You're so lucky. God, I wish I'd never had kids. I hate them." She's a loving mom, was just in a rough spot and didn't mean it. Story 31. My mom crying on the phone with my dad, they were separated, talking about his infidelity. I learned the worst way possible. His mistress was my teacher who helped me with bad grades. Story 32. My dad cheating on my mom, then the fight when she found out. She forgave him, but I never could and couldn't say anything because I was asleep.